so nice to be back finally. That few week break felt way longer than just a few weeks. It felt like a few months, honestly. But it's honestly so good to be back. And again, what an episode! This, wow, so many things to talk about. And oddly enough, going into the episode for the first 30 minutes of it, it was going by pretty slow to me. And there were things I liked about it at the point, but at the same time, it just felt a little slow to me. I don't know if you guys felt that at all, but to me, tonight's episode, Out of Time, felt slow. And I'm just going to talk about the things that kind of somewhat bothered me throughout the episode, and going into something that was kind of just like this being kind of nitpicky. I mean, overall, I really enjoyed the episode, especially that last 10 minutes. Holy crap. But just things that I'm going to start off with things that I was kind of annoyed by. And one of the main things being when Mark Martin just walks into the precinct out of the elevator. It's like, okay, everyone in the precinct seems to be looking for this guy. And he just happens, someone just lets him go into the elevator. There's no cameras anywhere, I guess. Like no one sees this guy coming, and Cisco's the only one who's like, oh, just let him go. Call Barry. That was just okay, Cisco could have said something and warned everyone, but instead he didn't. And honestly, this is just tying back to stuff I've said in the past. I don't like what they've done with Linda as a character, because they've just brought her in just so Barry can have someone while he's not romantically with Iris. And it's not fair, because Linda Park, I'm not huge into the Flash comics. I know majority of Flash comics in history, but I don't know specific details about characters. But from what I've seen, Linda Park seems like a fairly interesting character, and they haven't really given her anything significant in the show, and it's really bothered me. So seeing how they treat her in the show, and they just use her as a way to making her jealous of Iris and Barry, making Iris jealous of her and Barry. It's not fair to the character. It's not fair to the actress, because I like the actress a lot, but it's just that the writers aren't giving her much to work with. Not that she's being written terribly, but she's not being her character's not being written as a strong character. She's being written as a character of convenience, and that's really bothersome to me, especially because she's just thrown in there to be a love interest, and that really bothers me, because there's more to female characters than just being a love interest, And they forced Linda on us. I was fine with it. For the first episode, it was fine, kind of. But when they made her just a convenient character in the sense that they just used her as a way of making Iris jealous, and slowly starting to realize her feelings for Barry, and that's not what they should be doing with the character, and that's not how I think they should use that character at all. So it just bothers me to me. I just obviously think it's going to end between Barry and Linda. So, I really wish the actress had a lot more to work with, and I feel sorry for her that the writers aren't treating her fairly. So yeah, that's just my biggest issue of the show. But now going into what I liked about the show, holy crap, the last 10 minutes, like I said earlier, again, this episode felt really slow to me, and then everything started picking up when, you see Joe tied up on the boat and handcuffed on the boat, and having Weather Wizard. This Weather Wizard is so much better than the crappy actor we had from the pilot episode. And honestly, I don't know if you guys have, I doubt any of you guys really watched my review of the pilot. But the Weather Wizard in that episode was one of my big issues, because he was a cheesy character and the actor was terrible, in my opinion. It's kind of nice that they brought him back, because a lot of times in shows they don't bring back certain actors or characters from the pilot episode. They almost act as if they don't happen. So it's nice that they kind of brought the same actor back. So yeah, I can't remember. I think it's Liam McIntyre or something, whoever the dude from Spartacus. Such a better actor. He felt menacing to me, and he's the first real menacing villain I felt that other than Reverse Flash, obviously, who we really had on the show. And especially with how the episode ended, with Barry traveling back in time, I'm really I'm just really, really surprised that they did that. And seeing how they're finally bringing time travel into the show. I mean, yes, they like implied time travel in the last few episodes, but seeing Barry actually traveling back in time, that's huge. And like I've mentioned before, that means more than likely they're the whole Flashpoint thing. I'm iffy about. I mean, I'm excited as a fan, but because they can't include. I've gone into this in the past. They can't include certain characters from the Flashpoint storyline, so it's gonna be weird seeing it on TV. So I mean, hopefully the writers know what they're doing. But just the fact that he's finally able to time travel. I mean, it's so early on in his career as a Flash. That's. I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm nervous for it, and hopefully we'll just see what happens. And going into probably the biggest thing with the episode, which ultimately ended up being erased anyway, was Iris finally admitting her feelings for Barry, and now Barry knows. And even with Barry traveling back in time, he's going to know that. So how is that going to affect him and Iris' relationship moving forward? And that's an interesting aspect of it, because I felt so many emotions in those last 10 minutes. Cisco figuring out Wells the Reverse Flash. Wells, we finally probably one of the other biggest thing in the episode. Wells finally admitting he's Eobard Thawne, and that Eddie is a distant relative. Something we've all been really like who is he? Is he Eobard Thawne? Is he the other Zoom character? Like none of us really knew, or is it he's just Harrison Wells? But now we know he is Eobard Thawne. He's been trapped here for the last 15 years, and so he essentially created the Flash just to beat him. And that I felt scared for Cisco when he killed Cisco. I was like, holy shit, did they really do that? Like, but then I thought about it for a second. I mean, I watched that Paley Fest promo with Cisco talking to Laurel Lance from Arrow, and I was like, wait a minute. If he's killed, how does he? But then, of course, it explains itself by the end of the episode with Barry going back in time. But seeing Cisco has been the one character that I think has progressed the most in this entire show. Because I didn't like him in the beginning. I didn't. I thought he was a waste of a character. I didn't like how they used him. I thought he was too cheesy, too annoying, and I didn't like him at all. But now he's grown on me, and he's growing as a character, and he brings something to the show that he just brings it a bit of the humanity to it. I mean, the show as much as I love Arrow, I can relate more to the show and feel more emotions in this show. Just because of the tone of the show and the type of things they have to deal with. Excuse me. And Cisco brings that element of joy and humor and just things that we lack in Arrow. I mean, we get some of that here and there, but that's one of the things I love about this show. It's so radically different in tone, and it brings those aspects that are missing from Arrow into this, and having Cisco be that character who is not only just brings the comic relief here and there, but then himself becoming a more complex character and becoming a more interesting character. I'm enjoying what the writers are doing with him, and of course, I just didn't like how they portrayed him early on. So it's nice to see that they're actually doing that with him. And I'm really happy for his character development. Thank God. And just the whole going back to the whole Iris and Barry thing. We all knew that was Endgame, right? I mean, there's no shock there. And I think a lot of us probably saw those pictures that were leaked online earlier in the year of Barry and Iris kissing, and now we know the context of it. And as much as we all enjoyed it, now it didn't actually technically happen. So as much as I love that scene, I mean, now it's erased. So I mean, maybe obviously we're gonna get more of that stuff in the future, but it was nice seeing that them finally being open with each other. And like I said earlier, I think that's definitely gonna bring an interesting dynamic to Barry and Iris moving forward. Now that Barry, time travel and none of that stuff even happened, and just Barry's speed evolving and all those different aspects of the show, I'm excited for the rest of the season, honestly. And not that I wasn't before, but now I'm even more excited, especially with Mark Hamill coming back as a trickster. We got Heatwave and Captain Cold and Captain Cold's sister coming in next episode. There's a lot of stuff going on that I'm really excited for. So, yeah, there's not much else to it other than that. Actually, going back into stuff maybe I didn't find too great about this episode was Caitlyn actually she didn't really do a whole lot this episode. I mean, and it's not like necessarily bad. I mean, it's like some characters aren't featured in certain episodes to a great extent. I mean, evidenced by like Diggle and Arrow, if any of you guys watch that, which I'm sure the majority of you do. But she just felt awkward in this episode. I don't know if I was the only one who felt that, but seeing her just kind of being obviously being like clearly nervous about the whole Wells thing, and her ultimately like finding out about Wells and that being erased. It was a weird episode for her because she didn't do a whole lot, and it was just to me that was just a little weird. But yeah, again, just great episode. I'm excited for the next episode. I wonder what they're gonna do with the whole Weather Wizard thing. If he's gonna be in the next episode, or I don't know, honestly. So, I'm really looking forward to the next arc of episodes leading into the season finale. I'm really excited, and I'm so glad there's no more breaks. I'm tired of these breaks between the shows because I want to keep watching. I don't want to just like three episodes break. I'm getting kind of tired of it because I just want to watch the shows and kind of get it over with. You know, one thing I love about like stuff on Netflix is just like watch it again and like watch it one episode, next episode, all that. So I think that'll be it for me, guys. So until next week, have a good one.